This is your daily dose of a little important advice from Rebbe Nachman of Breslov. We've reached the section called Mammon and Parnasa, of money and making a livelihood. That's in the book known as Eitzos Hamvuoros, clarified instructions that Rebbe Nachman had given through his teachings on various issues, collected by topic, done by Rav Shimshon Barsky. And there is actually an English version of this in Breslov Research. This is just a taste of what some of the material in these chapters discusses. In chapter 3, Rabbi Nachman teaches, Al Yedei Tefillah B'Koach, by davening with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. Hainu Al Yedei Tefillah Karoi, properly. What does properly mean? You call, you put your voice into it, ubekavana, and you align your thoughts with what you're saying. This is a very, very, very difficult thing. The Shulchan Aruch tells us that nowadays it's impossible to apply the rulings of the Mishnah that said that people who had come from places that they were agitated or went through some sort of trauma, like a long trip overseas and a sea voyage, etc., and their minds are preoccupied with what has happened or worries about it, they shouldn't daven. And says Shulchan Aruch, today, no one is in that category. We're all famished anyway. So therefore, one has no excuse not to daven. But again, we in our generation, with so many distractions and so many things pulling at us, not only the smartphones, but all sorts of worries and concerns and stresses, we must work hard to align our thoughts. Meaning, what do the words mean? Simply said, what am I saying? Where am I? What am I doing? What am I saying? Chaim Brisker explains that the first paragraph of Shemona Esrei is even more important than the rest of Shemona Esrei, in that you must actually have a very clear sense of what you're saying, whereas in the rest of Shemona Esrei, if you're not word by word focused, but you know you're generally davening, but even if you didn't translate in your mind each and every word, it's still considered davening. This is what we must work towards. And what it means also is mesinus, patience, hakshava, listening to the words of the davening. You're listening and listening to the chazonim, and especially when it's you need to strengthen yourself, not to be weak in this area of davening, but strength and enthusiasm, which are so many tests, minios and nisionos, stand before us on this point, and not to miss any tfilos, whether they're obligatory or by Shulchan Aruch, like Shachris Mincha Maariv, or other things that you might be regularly daven, like Tilim, Tikkun Klali, different types of prayers and things that you might say, because all of these are required for what's known as Tefillah B'Koach, Tefillah that has the power to effect results. I will add that Rabbi Shlomo Yosef Dayan, a great Lamed Vav Tzaddik, who's buried in Yerushalayim at the beginning of Har Menuchos, very close to Rabbi Kaduri, composed many tefillos and tikkunim based on the Zohar and other places, gathering tefillos to have impact on certain areas of life. And if you're interested in all those, contact me, Rabbi Yaakov Schwartz at rjyschwartz@gmail.com. But the main point that he said is that people are not taking advantage of the opportunity of davening by not davening for specific things. You can't say, I'm davening that everything should be good, that I should have a good parnasa. No, get more detailed. What is it that you're looking for? What's happening on your job? What's happening with the associates? What are the challenges involved? Get into details. If you can't, and the best time to do that is in your personal prayer and Hidbodedus, which should happen at least minimally a half an hour a day if you want to develop that real, deeper relationship with someone. It's like calling somebody on the telephone and having a half an hour conversation a day really, really connects you. It's not just 2 minutes, hello, how are you, goodbye. That's what we're trying to break through and have tefillah, what's known as tefillah b'koach. Now, if one manages to pray with power, okay, despite all the distractions and tests involved in this, that's called true prayer. Tefillah amitis, al yedei tefillos elu zochin leparnasa be'emes bekashrus uberevach. This is a key to be deserved of a really good parnasa, which is done bekashrus, according to halacha and ethics and morals, and berevach, and is more than ample to provide your needs. And then he adds in paragraph Dalid that one of the key distractions is especially keeping your mind away from unholy thoughts, when one thinks about various averos, lusts, taivos, whether it's for money, whether it's for relations, whether it's for honor, whether it's for anything. A new car, which is, maybe not what is needed. If it's needed, of course you want to daven for it specifically. But if you are occupied with your lusts, with your desires, that certainly creates problems. It's called a pagam habrit. It's an unholy act, and therefore unholy thoughts, and therefore we must make sure that our minds and hearts are clear, our minds are clear and pure, and this way we'll be zoche to parnasa benakel berevach, easy parnasa and ample parnasa to provide for everybody's needs.